Hi Fraser, while you're there, could you let me know, can you hear me okay? Bit quiet. Okay. Um, that's up full. Uh, is that better? Alright. Um, that should be fine then. I'm gonna wait like 5-10 minutes just in case people are coming a little late. I'll start at 7 or just after 7. So if you. I'm gonna do your set first as well because I know that like Ander and DG can't make it, and I actually don't know if Riaz will be here, but I'll start in 5 minutes or so. So if you've got something to do first, then you could do it now, and I'm gonna do your set first anyway. Hey Nanga, how's it going? If you've just got here, I'm going to be starting in 5 minutes. Just once I've given people a chance to get here if they're interested in watching. Prime Saga results. I was over at James and Andrews yesterday, so I was watching it with DG and Ander until it got to Shuton versus T, and it was Olimar versus Pac-Man, and then we just wanted to go to bed, to be honest. So I didn't catch the end of it. But it honestly doesn't surprise me that Shuton and Zachary got top two. Like, I don't. For me personally, I think they're like as good or better than the top US players. So I was a little sad that Tweak got seventh because he's just a player that I like to see do well. But it wasn't too surprising. I didn't see one thing I'm curious about is Nairo versus Light, which I'm pretty sure happened. I've not seen that, so I want to know if Nairo went Ganondorf and if it actually worked again, or if Light actually like knows how to fight that now, and if it did not work or not. That's something I'd be interested to find out. Hey Declan, starting in a couple of minutes. Alright, I might just watch it on stream, to be honest. Hey Owen, starting in a couple of minutes. Yeah, what was I gonna say? I'm gonna do Legacy top four. I don't know if we'll do any more than that tonight. I don't even know if we'll finish that tonight. But maybe tomorrow or later in the week. I kind of want to do. I think there was a Manchester Conquest or something, the SCR one, and Curry got second. So I may VOD review that. And then I might also do Prime Saga as well later in the week. Just depends on how much I want to stream. But I think I'll be doing this for like I don't know, a couple of hours maybe. Just wait a couple more minutes for people to come through. What about the chat? What did you think? What did you guys think of Prime Saga? What about the results? Anyone who didn't do well, you wanted to do well, did do well, you want to do well? Did you watch it? Are you going to watch it? Can I pinpoint the moment in losers finals where Riaz's heart snaps? Is there player cams? Oh yeah, I can see the player cam down in the bottom. I'll give it a go. Is it when Ander picks Pikachu? Because I'm guessing it's some time around then. Yeah. To be fair, well, I don't know. I'll see how the set goes, but I have a lot of thoughts in regards to. I want to get to that set because I have a lot of thoughts in regards to Pikachu in this game, because Zero Suit and Captain Falcon in Smash 4 really struggled because of the low profile mechanics. Like basically Pikachu could low profile a lot of the stuff they did, and Captain Falcon and Zero Suit in Smash 4 relied heavily on jump ins and spacing aerials, which is really hard when his hurtbox is so small. But I don't think that the Falcon matchup in Ultimate is as bad as it was in Smash 4 because I no longer have to rely on jump ins or like spacing aerial attacks against Pikachu. I can do things like dash forward, angle down F tilt, dash down tilt, dash jab. I have so many more grounded options. Yeah, so I think that the matchup might not be as bad for Zero Suit as it was in Smash 4, but I'm no Zero Suit expert, so I'll see what I think after watching. Yeah, I was watching SKT versus Griffin in the LCK finals before I started the stream. I'm not signed in on my PC, so it's just going to be all league. Well, I didn't analyse those ones, it was just for leisure, I suppose. Alright, that's 7 o'clock, so I'm actually going to get started with the VOD review. I downloaded this handy pen tool, so just in case I need to annotate anything. Whoa. Do this, get OBS out of the way, and the audio is a little bit choppy, so I'll put it down really low.
Fraser, wiggle
It's still a bit too loud. In fact, you know what? I'm just going to turn the audio off. Well, hang on, where did the chat go? There we go. Oh, damn, so if I click on this, the chat will disappear. Oh well, just have to keep clicking back, I guess. I don't know if I'd call this professional, but... Okay, so Riaz versus Sho, Zero Suit versus Pokemon Trainer. So Squirtle's like basically like the same archetype, I guess, of character as Pikachu. And Zero Suit traditionally in Smash 4 struggled with small characters and low profiles. So I have a feeling, especially because hang on, I'm just gonna get this right back to the start. I have a feeling, especially because Ivy's out of shield game is pretty exploitable, and Zero Suit's really good at pressuring your shield. I just think Squirtle's going to be the go-to in this matchup. It's instantly the first thing I think of is like abuse Squirtle versus Zero Suit, because I feel like Zero Suit's going to have a much harder time dealing with this character than Ivysaur. But I also rate Squirtle quite a lot. So anyway, Pokemon Stadium's the start, and okay, so you started by rolling in. I want to see exactly what kind of tools Riaz wants to do to like keep Squirtle out. F tilts. That was a clean conversion. Actually, I'll go back to this. I feel like with Zero Suit, this is like, I can't say if this is just the ones that I've played, but they look for that tech in place a lot. I think you want to mix up other options, because it's kind of intuitive to like forward throw into like the Nair, I guess. Maybe it's just, I don't know. I'd be careful about using this tech in. I get punished a lot because because the forward throw forces you to very quickly react. For a lot of people, myself included, tech in place is just like a sort of knee-jerk reaction where I just hit the R button and I'm not thinking about actually mixing up the tech. But I mean, we'll see if Sho actually mixes up these techs as the game goes on. But this is I get caught out by this a lot. You have to react quickly and be thinking to mix up your tech options. But the near to the forward air, that's the other thing that's great about Squirtle is Zero Suits can have a much harder time ledge trapping him as well, just because of the tiny hurtbox. So, I mean, you're sticking to Squirtle so far, which I do like. That move's really obnoxious, the downer. That's actually really hard to punish. Hang on. So you knock him down in the corner just there, or Show knocks him down in the corner just there. I mean, I thought he was going to go to the ledge actually, so I guess, I don't know. That was a bit of an awkward one. That flip kick's something you need to be. I think Zero Suit's like almost like defined by down B. Like, I think it's Zero Suit's best move. I think down B does everything for Zero Suit. It kills. It gets her out of the corner. It helps her land. It helps her recover. It's invincible during the early frames, so you can break out of things. So the most predictable times the Zero Suit will down B is when they're cornered or like off stage. Like basically when you have stage control, you have to look to call out these down Bs, and you can't hit it at the start. So hang on, and I'll get this pen tool out. So if this is like this, God, that's awful. You know what? Ignore the background. I'm just trying to get an arc of like a Zero Suit down B to show like when to punish it. Around here, this is invincible. Around like the start before she loops over. This area here, you want to contest this space in the sort of middle of her arc, because the start is invincible, and contesting around here is also risky, because if you contest this move with grounded options, or lower to the ground, you risk getting grounded or buried by the the stomp hitbox, which can lead to a big punish, especially when you're at kill percent. So the safest place to contest this move is around here in the air. This is the space that you want to contest the down B in. So you want to preemptively jump, like with Squirtle or Ivysaur for example. Show, I think, should use like Squirtle Nair or Ivy Nair in these kind of spaces, because contesting it in the air is a lot safer, and you can't react to this or anything, so you have to just try and predict when Zero Suit's going to do this and cover that space with preferably a lingering move. Covering it here is risky. Not only that, if you cover it here, Zero Suit can just do the kick, and then you know like that can also just, I mean the hitbox and that's huge, so that will also just beat out what you want to do here. So that's definitely a space you want to cover when it comes to covering the Zero Suit down B, in my opinion. I'll try not to, I'm going a bit slowly to be honest, and I've got a lot to go through, so I'll try not to stop too much more. Nice catching, it says double jump gone, yeah, there. Show caught Riaz's double jump there, I'm pretty sure. Just watch it again. Yep, you see the double jump? After this, Riaz has two options, actually has more than two options, I just lied. But basically down B is like a high priority thing to cover here, because this is quite a pressured position that Riaz is in. I feel like Zero Suit players, if they can get away with down B, they're going to down B, so you have to show that you're willing to cover that. It can go low and like air dodge or up B to ledge or something, or it can down B, so you just basically have to take a 50-50 here. I'm not sure if Sho wasn't thinking about the down B, or if he just tried to cover the low, low recovery, which is fine, but this is the kind of situation you want to start to try and cover the top of the arc of down B, especially just because you caught the jump. Yeah, it's just that Zero Suit's different because it's like a triple jump, I like the offstage gameplay. I like the jumping out at Zero Suit. Zero Suit's not a like. You can ledge guard Zero Suit. It just requires like two like really good reads on what exactly Zero Suit's going to do, like in a row kind of thing. But if you can get it, you can definitely you're definitely capable of ledge guarding Zero Suit. I wouldn't be scared to try and ledge guard. If you cover the down B here, you knock her back out. She now doesn't have down B and she doesn't have double jump, so she's either going to air dodge or up B, and then you trade with that, and then it's dead. You could. I don't think you'd have time to swap to Ivy, but you could just solo kill her with Squirtle, providing you read all of that, which is a lot. But I think it's better to go for that than to stay on stage, to be honest. Or it's at least something you should try. I like the side B just to get back center stage. I don't like backing off there, so I'm not actually sure, but I don't think Water Gun even like pushes Zero Suit out of down B, or it's going to be tricky to. I don't know. I don't really like giving up that space to charge Water Gun. I think you just press forward. Like, Zero Suit just doesn't want this little turtle running at her. She wants to be given that much space, to be honest. I think you should be playing more. I think Sho should be playing more aggressively here with the Squirtle, personally, and Zero Suit will just have a hard time. Nice. He dash attacks in. Okay. You can't punish the side B, so good recognition. I don't like the swap to Ivysaur here. I'll go back and check and try and see exactly why. Because I don't think Sho was getting pressured or anything. Yeah, he backs off, so he wants to beat Ivysaur here, but I don't agree. I think Squirtle, like I said at the start of the VOD, I think Squirtle does much better against Zero Suit. I don't know what the kill percent for down for Vine Whip on Zero Suit is, but it'll be pretty low because she's really light. So she is approaching it, but even still, I mean, I'm just going to play it out to see how it goes. But I think Ivysaur is just going to have a much harder time. But we'll see. Well, that proves me wrong, I guess. I'm going to see exactly what Riaz did to get caught by this. I think he just started jumping too much immediately, probably. So Sho swaps to Ivy around here. I think I'm actually like went a bit too far back. Right. Ivy, let's see. Riaz short hops. Yeah, Riaz is jumping. Ivy wants you to jump. You don't want to jump too much against Ivysaur. You're fine to just walk or dash along the ground and shield. Ivysaur's grab is really slow. And if you see Ivysaur running at you, it's really predictable what Ivy's going to do. None of Ivy's ground options are safe or good. I feel like if you see Ivy running, you can easily you can drop shield and back off or jump away. Like, you can escape that situation. What you don't want is to be jumping around in front of Ivysaur, I think. So gets caught by back air. Nice tech chase with up air. Okay, I mean, that worked out, but I'll see if Riaz adapts to the Ivysaur. I think that's just because Riaz was jumping when he shouldn't have been. I don't think you jumped that much versus Ivysaur. If he just played a more grounded game. Like, he can wall Ivysaur out with like side B. He can like nair. He could like run up close and short up nair into Ivysaur, and there's nothing Ivysaur can do out of shield to stop it. Not sure how he would kill Squirt personally. I don't know. Can't Squirtle just sort of? You can like F tilt to tech chase. You can up smash out a shield like a wolf would. You can just throw him to the side of the stage and just fair and nair and push him further and further out stage and cover his options and just basically ledge guard him. I think you could do things like that, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Ivysaur's fine. But I think if Riaz plays it differently, then Ivysaur should have a harder time. Because he just wants to fast swap back to Squirtle here, which I agree with. Like, I mean, you definitely want to be Squirtle now. Fair. Really good damage. Oh, that was like a drag down bear or something. I mean, well, this is just like snowballing now. I like the F tilts from Riaz. Yep, the side V. Just stay just outside of Ivy's range and grounded on the ground. I would be Squirtle here. I actually think Zero Suit's gonna have an easier time killing Charizard than Squirtle, which might sound contradictory, but Charizard's hurtbox is massive, so it's going to be so much harder for Riaz to land some sort of kill setup move or kill move on Charizard. I think you go Squirtle here, even though it sounds counterintuitive. I think that a lot of the sort of kill setups that Zero Suit is going to want to go for are going to be much harder to land on Squirtle. And you're going to have a much easier time extending your lead on Squirtle and finding the hits as well, while avoiding her hits. I don't think Charizard, in theory, Charizard shouldn't be too great here. Unless you're looking to just Flare Blitz him or something. But I wouldn't recommend that either, personally. I think Riaz could have jabbed after that there, but he didn't. Tech Chase. Oh, that was clean. That was actually clean by Riaz. That Zare to set up that Tech Chase, that doesn't work on Squirtle because Squirtle's tiny. So how he can't? That's an option he doesn't have to look for the kill. Which is why I say like all he did was Zard once, I believe, and then he covered air dodge with down smash dead. That wouldn't have happened on Squirtle, and you died as Charizard or showed died as Charizard anyway. So that's why I think you just play Squirtle. Yeah, actually, I think Ivy makes sense there because you're coming off the spawn platform, and therefore, because you have the invincibility, Riaz has to back up to the side of the stage. So you have the stage control as Ivysaur to be Ivysaur there, which makes sense. And then it was a clean side B final confirm. I think being Ivysaur there made a lot of sense. And you want to get back to Squirtle's. Yeah, okay. What's the punish? I like it. Yep. Okay. I don't like. I think Riaz. In my opinion, Riaz should jump less in this matchup against both Ivy and Squirtle, because you can wall Squirtle out quite well with just bigger moves. Oh my god! What? What? He just. Yeah, I mean, he just catches the jump. That was kind of like, I don't want to say, oh, that was random. Like it was well done, but it was just like it only covered one thing, and it covered it really well. Oh, you're Sho's panicking here, with like he just wants back on stage. Oh my god, Riaz just had like a burst of momentum. Oh, he almost got that down B. I'm gonna go back briefly because I want to go back a wee bit more. I want to see how Riaz gets back to stage so easily. Down V, what does he do here? Double jumps high. I think you want to be covering like this sort of space above the ledge more, because it covers both double jump and down B. So you just want to be covering high against Zero Suit, because if you can cover that space, if you cover this space and deter Zero Suit from down being double jumping like over you, then you force Zero Suit onto the ledge, which is a pretty good position to be in. But if you cover this space and then Zero Suit goes high, it's quite easy for Zero Suit to then quickly get back stage control because of like down B and down air. So I think that's another pro to covering, just defaulting to recovering high versus Zero Suit, because you can just say no and then Zero Suit goes to ledge, and that's a better position to be in than Zero Suit being able to get back center stage. That's just what I think. harass him with Razor Leaf. Alright. Flare Blitz. So that was, I mean, that was obviously risky. I'm going to say that was good by Show. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say it wasn't just a random panic side V, because Riaz put him into that situation last stop where he did the Zair and popped Charizard into the air and he air dodged in. So Riaz was looking for that again, but this time Show just hits flare blitzes and says like, try that again and you're dead. Still really risky, but I think that flare blitz was good. On the other hand, I think in this situation against Charizard, Riaz wants to be playing more conservative, because flare blitz was Show's win condition there, but it was also his lose condition. If all Riaz has to do is shield a flare blitz and Charizard loses the game, or Show loses the game, Pokemon Trainer loses the game, whatever. So you can think of it as a win condition and also a lose condition. So in a sense, the flare blitz could be considered Riaz's win condition if he thinks that Show could be likely to go for it. So he could definitely play more conservative, and when he gets a hit like that, just wait more, I guess, because if you're waiting around and you see the flare blitz and you've not committed to anything, you can react shield and then you just win the game. So you need to be thinking like this against Charizard at these kind of percents, because you can be caught and even in like a dash animation or any sort of like attack and flare blitz will just kill you. But the risk reward is so high, if you keep it in the back of your mind, if the Charizard decides to go for it, it's just your win condition. That's what I think about that. So I think while it was well played by Show, and especially on the third stop, I would like Riaz to keep that in the back of his mind, and even you can even try and bait it out by dashing around a little bit, and then you start walking more, so that you can react and shield, and play more conservative. Don't commit to buttons as much, and wait. At the very least, you want to wait a little while to see, are they going to do it, and then if they're not showing you, so it's kind of like a mind game, right? If the Pokemon Trainer player is like, the Pokemon Trainer player as Charizard should be, and I imagine Show probably is, looking out for things that they can exploit with Flare Blitz. So if the Charizard / Pokemon Trainer player sees that you're playing conservative like that, they'll figure out, okay, he's scared of Flare Blitz, and they'll try and exploit that another way. So you give them some time, you say, are you going to Flare Blitz? If they don't, I feel like it's pretty likely that they probably won't do it once they see that kind of behaviour. And then, you still keep it in the back of your mind, but then you start to take more risks. Yeah, you have to be scared of flare blitz, you just do. You have to keep it in your mind, but it's so unbelievably risky that it's also just something you can look to exploit. That's what I think about that. FD's the counter pick for Riaz. I don't like this stage choice. I think Trainer's really good on FD and any sort of flat / long stage in general. But I don't know what the stage bans are like. I'm not actually confident at saying what stages Zero Suit likes, so I'm not going to really talk about it that much, to be honest. It's not that interesting either anyway. That was a good read. I think Show like sort of A-landed there, or like inputted an attack so he wouldn't be in a tech state. Yeah, he started in aerial. That was smart because he would have been in a tech state otherwise. So being able to aerial with really low landing lag like that, Squirtle, so that he can then immediately shield was clever, I think. I don't. Again, I would just play Squirtle more. I think the way I would at least try in this matchup using Squirtle like 70% of the time to 80% of the time. I really feel like I think it's a bit of a preemptive switch to Ivysaur, and I think you're now going to struggle to pressure Zero Suit. You're now going to struggle to maintain space on stage, because you're slower. Your grounded options are way worse. You don't have the option to sort of like run straight at Zero Suit, and Zero Suit doesn't have to be as scared because Ivy's ground options are pretty crap. Squirtle would be a lot scarier and would force Zero Suit back a lot more. But Riaz is jumping a little too much. That was, yeah, that I mean, in my opinion, that was like a sort of not either greedy or like lazy back air, I guess. This is kind of just like, you know, when people go no stage control and like sort of just fall and hope that they hit people away. This is a really good punish by Riaz. But to me, this screams either lazy or impatient. You need to respect what Zero Suit can do here. I would have liked to see you just go to ledge here, because this is, I mean, just look, 68%, your stock's gone. I think you would have been fine. Just go to ledge. Being on ledge isn't that bad in this game. Like compared to Smash 4, like you have like decent options at ledge. I think more people should go to ledge. I like covering this space here. I liked it. I don't like swapping to Ivysaur here. I'm not sure if that was just to try to get out of a combo or something. What happens? Gets hit by Nair. Air dodge is in actually. Oh wait, hang on, he swapped before that. Whoops. So his stock goes. He's already switched to Squirtle. When does he swap? Oh, he's in the air and he just sort of stalls his descent. I don't think that's a bad swap to Ivysaur. Again, because you already have the stage control, but you are in kind of a weird position being in the air. I don't dislike that one, but I would like to see I would like to see more Squirtle. I think Sho would just have more success as Zero Suit. You know what? Maybe I'm wrong. No, I stick by it. You got the kill there with Ivy, so like obviously it's hard for me to say like that it was bad or whatever, but I think again I think it kind of comes down to maybe Riaz. Does he jump or does he get put into the air? Yeah, he jumps with a fair. Yeah. So what if what if Riaz was playing grounded though? What would you do as Ivysaur? Would you just have to sort of YOLO in for a grab? Riaz is dying because he's jumping. So, I mean, knowing that, after seeing it now, it's like, yeah, go Ivy, because if you're gonna get him to these percents and then swap to Ivy and he's gonna jump around in front of you, then, you know, like that's payday. Nice punish. Actually really like that punish. Okay, you went high there, right? And Zero Suit was, or Riaz was, scared to like go into that space because you were already there, which meant he went to ledge and he picks instant roll off ledge and it might work out for him, but you had that position where he was at ledge and that's like much better for you than him getting stage control back. So I like the adaptation essentially. Side B into grab. I mean that's how you died the first stock, so I don't like that. Riaz needs to respect Flare Blitz. I don't know what to think about. I mean, he's not given Sho a reason to not Flare Blitz yet, to be honest. So, as far as I'm concerned, for the rest of the set, while Sho is up, if he's in these kind of positions, then yeah, you know what, go for it, because Riaz isn't respecting it. But like I said, if Riaz plays more conservative and just waits a bit more around Charizard, that can just be a win condition for Riaz. I would be Squirtle here. You need to be Squirtle here. You're going, like I said, sounds contradictory. You're going. I think Sho is going to die on the Charizard. I think Squirtle is much harder for Zero Suit to land a kill onto. Sure, if Zero Suit lands the right move on Squirtle, Squirtle will take more knockback because he's lighter. But how does Zero Suit manage to set that up on a character that's tiny and fast, and while she's trying to do that, it's going to be weaving in and out of her attacks and racking up damage much more efficiently than Charizard is going to be able to. I just think, just in terms of risk reward, Charizard's actually just riskier to be here because you want to extend your lead, and Squirtle's going to be actually really obnoxious at doing that. I've been kind of iffy on like maybe Ivy's okay to play a bit more. Maybe I'm wrong about the Squirtle here at these kill percents. And I'm confident in my belief that you play Squirtle against Zero Suit. Look at that. All that extra weight on Charizard. You're 112. Being this fat bloody lizard. 119 back air dead. Doesn't matter. Squirtle would have been much harder to set that up on. And once Squirtle got hit into this position, it would have been much harder for Zero Suit to sort of aim the back air. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna go on about it anymore. I just think Squirtle is gonna be harder to kill than Charizard. Riaz going aggressive. Okay, yeah, you landed with an attack because the air dodge hadn't been working. You could have went to ledge, but I mean, if all you're getting is regrabbed into another throw, then I kind of see why you're just willing to air dodge and attack. Like, it's just not, you're not that bothered. But at the same time, I think Riaz could be punishing it harder. So I would be sort of moving towards more going to the ledge, especially because it's FD and there's no platforms. But the aggressive contest worked out, and I guess it's okay. But I wouldn't be Ivysaur here. Wait, no, I would be Ivysaur here, because if Riaz is going to keep jumping, then it's fine to be Ivysaur, I think. Until he switches up his gameplay, I guess. Yeah, jump, jump, jump. Down B. That's what that's a really good example of what I was talking about, like right at the start of the analysis. This is why you don't try to contest Zero Suit down B with grounded options, because when you whiff, the punish is much more severe. Yes, this would have killed if you'd spaced it properly, but Zero Suit has all the time in the world and is able to sort of go at a variety of different angles with this down B. So you want to be contesting this in the air, in my opinion, just because of the low risk. Even with Ivysaur up air is fine. Nair would be more consistent. You could, if you can kill with up air, by all means go for it. But you want to be contesting this space in the air against down B, because it's just too risky to contest it here. And Zero Suit can see you charging, you know, a smash attack or something, and mix up the timing and make it very tricky to actually time it right. So this is actually kind of in Zero Suit's favour if you try and punish like this in a lot of ways. So this is why you can test the space in the air around the middle of the arc of the down B instead of trying to contest it on the ground. I mean, yeah, the Razor Leafs are fine. That was really clean by Riaz. I'm going to quickly look at that sequence. Side B, you're full hopping back, he full hops forward and he gets his up air, which leads into the kill. Another up air. You do kind of try to go to ledge here. I don't know, this kind of maybe is just like unfamiliarity with, like, maybe Sho thought the projectile would end sooner. The safer thing would have been to drift out even further though, and then just Vine Whip to ledge. So you've died twice now, because even though this is a more defensive maneuver, you've not like fully respected Zero Suit's space when you're put into the air like this. So if you just drifted back further, Zero Suit can't actually really do anything about you Vine Whipping to ledge. Like if you just like fast fall Vine Whip to ledge, even if she runs off, she doesn't have like lingering aerials to go low with and stuff that out. So going to ledge, especially on FD, then Vine Whipping is just the safer option here. And in general against Zero Suit, it's just a safer option. That's what I think. Because this is the second time you die because you've tried to just land on stage because you don't want to go to ledge, when in reality going to ledge is not that bad. That's what I think. Hang on, I'm going to catch up with chat. I think the plan could be win neutral and put ZSS in disadvantage, then catch jump with Ivy, rinse, repeat. Yeah. So the pros, you can catch jumps with Squirtle though. You can just, I think you could smother Zero Suit with Squirtle. Any situation outside of raw killing, I think Squirtle's fine at covering these high sort of recoveries, down B's double jumps against Zero Suit. I think Zero Suit can realistically be ledge guarded by Squirtle. If you just need to catch like two of her options essentially, and then that's more or less like a wrap, and you can just ledge guard Zero Suit and cut off all her options because he's so fast. Switching to Ivysaur to me is a bit like a double-edged sword, where yes, you now can kill him, but you just lose all the benefits of being Squirtle. I don't know. When I think about this in like terms of perfect play, it seems to me that like you can just Squirtle him to death. Honestly, if you really want to, I think if you get him like off stage or like, because Zero Suit is very quick at taking backstage control. So as you pressure with Squirtle, swapping to Ivy is always going to leave a gap in your pressure. If you could maintain the pressure of Squirtle even, force Zero Suit really far off stage, and then swap to Ivy maybe, I think you could extend your advantage a little more with Squirtle, is what I'm trying to say. In my head, it makes sense. You obviously don't have to agree with me. But regardless of the Squirtle Ivysaur argument, you lost that game because you semi-aggressively tried to contest space on stage and didn't have platforms to land on, and both times could have been avoided by you simply drifting to the ledge and using Ivy up B. I don't want to see reluctance to just go to ledge, especially because with Ivy's Vine Whip you can just drift off stage. Up B to ledge as safe as can be. It's really hard for Zero Suit to do anything about it, in theory. Town and City makes sense to me. I think this should be a good stage for Trainer. There's a couple of things I'm certain about. One is that the landings were really poor, and the other is that staying on Charizard at kill percents against Zero Suit is not a good idea, and it'll be much harder for Zero Suit to kill you as Squirtle. Those two things I'm confident about. Riaz gets aggressive, but yeah, you have to hold shield versus Nair. Like, you're not going to be able to get anything out, and Zero Suit's going to be able to mix up with jab, and will do it a lot. So it's just, you just have to respect the Nair on shield. Nice withdraw. Yep, Riaz is jumping again, so you're fine on Ivy. But look, Riaz is playing. Oh my god, he was playing grounded there. It started to work. Oh no, he's jumping. He gets hit. You see, it's like, it's not. I'm not overcomplicating it. Riaz jumps, he gets hit. Riaz doesn't jump, Sho gets hit. It's like that's just what I think. Nah, I don't like it. No. Timing that against like a Zero Suit down air or something is just going to be really difficult. I think you just want to be, when she's being forced into the corner like this, jumping into Zero Suit's options is generally going to be better, I think, because you've got, with Ivy, you've got like Nair, right, and it lingers, and is also has quite a big hitbox. I think you want to be just jumping in front of Zero Suit like that to cut off Zero Suit's options. I don't see what that up smash was like going to really accomplish, personally. Nice call out in the double jab. Unfortunately, it looks like this outside of a percent window. You need to be back on Squirtle. Riaz respects the Flare Blitz. I guess it worked the past couple of games, so I can see why Sho went for it. But this is almost like disrespecting Riaz in a sense, because you're not taking into account the Riaz could be expecting this or could have adapted at this point. So I'm not sure how I feel about it overall. I think it doesn't matter, because you shouldn't have been Charizard in the first place. That's what I think. I think that it should have just been back to Squirtle, so this Flare Blitz play shouldn't really have happened anyway, I guess. He's not going to Flare Blitz. So how is Sho going to find this kill? Cover high. Good. Nice. That was really good. Nothing really to say about that. It was just like, just threatened the high space, had to go to the ledge, then killed with a ledge trap. Clean. Yep, Show just advancing with a Squirtle. Yeah, see how that just created a gap in your pressure because you wanted to be Ivysaur? And Zero Suit's so fast to just get back stage control. I think you should just be full hopping or like double jump nairing Squirtle to cut off this space. Squirtle's nair is as good as Ivy's to just like deny space with a lingering hitbox, I guess, that Zero Suit's going to want to move into. So that, I mean, it's hindsight's 2020, right? It's pretty obvious, like looking back, but I think you can have that knowledge beforehand to just know if I swap to Ivy, that's too big a gap in pressure. Zero Suit's going to get back stage control. So I think that the mindset in that situation should be stay Squirtle, push the advantage further. Only swap to Ivysaur when I am positive that I have the time to do so, and when that's the gist of it. When Show has the time to do it. Riaz was playing grounded, but see, I like Riaz is like dash shielding a lot more, and I like it. Now he's starting to jump all over the place again. Oh, stop jumping, Riaz. Oh, that was that looked really close. I'm not sure. Let's see why that missed. That up air. Oh, it's cause I guess it was just caught the invincible part. I guess it had to be a little bit more delayed. I don't want to dwell on it too much. I'm going to watch it one more time. I looked like it should have connected. Maybe Zero Suit down B is invincible for a little longer than I thought. I don't know. I'll guess I'll test that in trainer mode at some point. That was definitely because it was like too early. It was like the start of the down B. So it's just a sort of poke war. Nah. I don't. I mean, I don't see this going well, honestly. For fuck's sake. I don't know what to think about that. I still don't think you should be Charizard. I actually don't. I actually don't. Regardless of the result, I look at the percent Zero Suit versus Charizard, and I'm just like, this can't end well for Charizard. It did, but I still think I think Ivy was doing okay. I mean I literally I can't criticize when I worked out. I just can't. But I think there's a philosophy in this matchup, like with like I think you can actually live for a really long time, Squirtle. Let's see why this happens. Landing Bear. Okay, that's just a really good punish on the Razor Leaf by Riaz actually. So I guess this is best of 3, judging from the remaining time. It's because it was like a grounded Razor Leaf as well, right? Wasn't it? Hang on. Or no, he full hop actually jumped back. I don't know what to say other than, yeah, I guess the Razor Leaf started to get projected. What? Oh man. Really? Okay. I mean, just miss space to punish. Oh, the Chad Bullet Seed. That was like a phantom footstool. I don't. No. It almost worked actually. I can't deny that. Like, I actually just almost worked. And you're a stock up, so I'm not actually like. There's no way. These are clearly just like hitting the oh shit button for blitzes. I think Rhea should walk more and sort of like dash shield and play conservatively. I've already said that, so I'll just move on. Because that Flare Blitz is a lose condition for this stock as well, like I said before. Swap off Zard, go Squirtle. You tried the Flare Blitz thing, and sure it's working, but... Oh. Well, that had nothing to do with being Zard or Squirtle. Yeah, there's nothing to talk about there. But even I don't care if you're 150, 160, 200, swap to Squirtle. At kill percents, that's what I think. Nice pressure. Went for a forward smash there. This is why the up air is... I can't say I don't like the up air, because it will kill and neutral air won't. But neutral air, Ivy's neutral air will be so much better and so much more consistent in stuffing out flip kick that I feel it's worth maybe just using neutral air instead, even in situations where you would kill with up air, because up air doesn't have active frames and neutral air does. And once you land that neutral air around that position, I'll just go back so I can see it more clearly. If you land neutral air around here, Zero Suit gets put off stage, and then you can sort of snowball your advantage and try and find a kill when Zero Suit's put to ledge and stuff, which is still pretty good. I think you should I think Sho should consider using neutral air to cover these flip kicks just for sort of much more consistency in covering them. Just because it's 2 up airs it's missed, so it's making me think the up air is just not like a good move for this. So I would consider using the Ivysaur neutral air just to deny that space. I wouldn't be Zard here, because the other thing as well is the Flare Blitz play doesn't make sense here, because you can kill with much safer things than Flare Blitz, and therefore you don't need Charizard really, because Flare Blitz is a big plus of being Charizard here. That's not correct. Flare Blitz is a big plus in a lot of situations, because gambling when you're down could be considered beneficial. Gambling when you're up doesn't make sense, and therefore I don't think you should be Charizard. I think you should be Squirtle or Ivy, and you should be looking to push Zero Suit back, find a small advantage and find a kill that way. I don't think you should be Charizard here. I don't think Sho should be Charizard here. Charizard's tech rolls are crap as well, so when he gets put in situations like that by Zero Suit, Zero Suit's going to be able to cover the options more easily. That hurt box is gigantic. You were able to jump over and then the flip kick back. In my opinion, that all happened because you were Charizard. You were at like 50, you got hit, and then Riaz pushed his advantage against you, and then he was able to find the kill. If you'd just been Squirtle, or not even Ivysaur, I think, yeah, Squirtle or Ivy I think would have been better. I guess you can make an argument for Ivy if you want to. I think Charizard's just going to really suffer in this matchup. I think you should have been Squirtle or Ivy. I can't say for sure which one, but like I just look at these positions that Riaz is able to put Charizard in, and it's just like, why would you even bother? Why would you actually bother being Charizard? I would actually only play Charizard in this matchup to go for a gamble Flare Blitz, I guess. Like, I don't really see any other when you're behind or something, maybe. Like, you talk about like Sho was talking about Squirtle's lack of kill power earlier. But the plus side is Zero Suit loses kill power on Squirtle because Zero Suit isn't easily, like, I say it isn't easily, it's really hard for Zero Suit to hit Squirtle. So yes, you throw out kill power, but you can just keep hitting away at her, and she's going to have a really hard time hitting Squirtle, and eventually you can find the kill. Aren't Squirtle smash attacks safe and powerful? I don't know if they're safe. They're like, I mean, they're strong. I don't think they're safe, but they're quite strong. It doesn't matter really. I think maybe Squirtle's up smash out of shield could be used like Wolf's a bit more. You could kind of, like react, be on reaction. Someone jumps, you up smash. Maybe you could find a kill that way. But you don't need the smash attacks even. You just keep hitting Zero Suit and pressuring her like off of the stage and cutting off her options, and eventually she's just going to die. I really, really like subscribe to this idea. You just Squirtle people to death. If their character can't deal with Squirtle, it doesn't matter that Squirtle can't kill. Like, it doesn't matter if they're at like 200, they still can't deal with Squirtle. Like, it's still a bad matchup. You still just push your advantage. Switching to Ivy and Zard, in a sense, in my opinion, gives them the windows. It gives you the windows to go in for the kill, but it gives them the windows to go into kill. It's kind of like Shulk's Smash mode, right? It's like you're giving up safety. You're kind of going more all in, and you're lowering your defenses and like lowering their defenses, I guess. As in a sense, that's the way I look at it. I think Squirtle's just a lot safer and more consistent as a character. I think that Squirtle is the way to go in this matchup and a few other matchups as well. I think Ivy wouldn't work as well if Riaz played more grounded. Yoshi's story, I like. I don't know actually. You know what? I don't know. I don't think it's that important either. I like the withdraw because, like, obviously he's going to look for some sort of aggressive option because he wants to tech chase there. I'm going to go back to that down B. I want to see if you could have covered that down B. Yeah. You like sort of ran down here. Zero Suit was around here. So the dash shield here doesn't make sense because this platform completely covers this side of the stage. So if Zero Suit was about here and wanted to like down air or something, this platform would just block like down air and down B like really well for you, I think. I don't just default to covering above Zero Suit like in this space, I think, because it will catch double jump in and down B in around the same space as long as your aerial sort of lingers and like controls that space. Zero Suit will move into it, and like I said, you cut that off and Zero Suit's forced to go to ledge more and you get more beneficial situations that way. Default to covering high. Oops. Jumps, gets hit. That's something to talk about. On triplats, Zero Suit. Downer is really good to land with in this game because it actually just has no lag. Like it really just doesn't. But when Zero Suit's here, it's predictable in a sense that Zero Suit is going to. Hang on, I'll get there. So if Zero Suit is up in like the top blast zone, or really high up, and they want to land with down air, which you should be kind of expecting or at least kind of waiting for a lot of the time. On a triplat stage, the angle they're going to do it at is this, because they don't want to land on the platforms because it doesn't get them center stage. They're still in a bad spot. In fact, they land with lag, and then even if you don't true punish it, you're going to be, especially as like Ivy, you're going to be able to pressure the Zero Suit for landing on a platform. Zero Suit's just not going to want to land on a platform. So because of that, these are the angles that you need to cover. They're going to go through in this space here between the platforms. That's where they're going to go through. You cover these spaces here. Although saying that, down air is like really fast and has a big hitbox, so I'm not sure how you look to cover it as Ivy. I think you just I think you maybe just like razor leaf in at like that angle. Hang on, I'm just gonna like get rid of all. So I think when they go at that angle, maybe you just sort of dash back razor leaf like this, because it's really hard to punish. But if you razor leaf, if you get the punish, great. If you don't lose in. Like, ignore that. That's stupid. You'd want to run to this side and do it this way so that you have stage control, obviously. but you would dash back here and Razor Leaf because you don't lose anything from missing, but you gain something for hitting. Whereas trying to be under zero suit and contest it's just going to be too hard, I think, as Ivy, because you don't have like active frames and like you do have good anti-airs, but they're not active, which makes it really hard to get the timing down on the down air. So I wouldn't even bother. I think I would either try and like grab it from the side, maybe like stand here and then dash in for a grab, or I would like Razor Leaf it from the side, I think. And obviously my original point stands of like it's going to be predictable which way they want to go. They want to downer that way, they want to downer in that way, because they don't want to be stuck on a platform. So watch out for it. See, it's really hard for Zero Suit to actually do anything about Vine Whip, because no active frames on the aerials. Nice. To be honest though, if you nair here, actually put Zero Suit out this way. The downer actually didn't actually net show very much. And the nair is not only more consistent at covering this option, in theory, or this is just my idea. The nair is not only more consistent at covering this down B arc, because it just blocks the path of it essentially. It would put Zero Suit in a worse position because you're going to have to hit him at this position here. Even if you down air, even if you get him like here, he's going to be able to DI in and tech. So therefore, I think you use them there and you cover that space, and it actually puts him in a pretty bad position, which you could then try and capitalize on. Because if he doesn't have down B, he has like double jump and up B and air dodge. Those are kind of the tools. As soon as you stuff out that down B, you don't have to worry about that. You don't actually have to cover high, so then you can look to like down air like an up B or a double jump air dodge to edge or something like that. So I think if you used nair there, it would actually not only be more consistent, but reward you more. Reward show more than the down air. Nice punish. Back throw because Ivysaur can't get the combo. You kind of covered the down B last time, so I can kind of see why you'd want to go low. Like I covered down B last time. Riaz is going to think, oh, I just realised that that stuff's still in the way. Riaz is going to go low this time. I get it, but you didn't punish him very hard for the down B, so why should he care if he just takes one down air as he down Bs and then he gets backstage control? That's not deterrence. That doesn't make him not want to do that, So that's why I think this, again, just default to covering high more. I mean, hindsight's 20/20. I don't want to preach on about it because it's very easy for me to sit here and say, "Huh, you should have done this. I would have done this. You bloody idiot." Don't be Zard here. I wouldn't be Zard here. This is just a gamble. That's how you died in the you died that way the last game. Don't be Zard. Just don't. That's what I think. Like, he kills you. Riaz kills Sho so quickly when he's on Charizard. It's like a clinic. It's just like, oh, he's big and fat now, and I'm Zero Suit. Well, it's go time. I'm gonna kill him because that's what I'm good at. I think, is that Riaz like? Hang on, what does Riaz? Oh, Riaz like, he just like adjusted his hair, but I can tell he was kind of, like, yeah, I don't know. He was probably, yeah, that was stupid. But I actually get why Riaz did it, because you're picking a grounded option to contest the down B. So in theory, if he just spaces it properly, it gets over your hitbox. It was well timed by Sho. And you might say it was the right option, but I don't necessarily agree, because I think Riaz could have actually, if he'd went a bit higher, got behind Sho and buried him for that. It was just a slight execution error, and I think you want to be if you want to call it a down B, you want to contest it with like a lingering nair, I think, just for consistency's sake. That's what I think. Squirtle gets forward thrown. Kick gets grabbed. I mean, that was a drop That was a dropped combo. That should have been a lot more damage than that. Forward throw. Land with an aerial, and because your Squirtle have no land lag, you're able to just sort of land with an aerial and instantly shield, and then you don't have to deal with being in a tech situation, which show's shown that it'll do before, which makes sense. I don't even like swapping to Ivy like that when your back's against the wall. I'd maybe say it was okay if it's for the specific purpose of breaking out of a combo, but I actually think he was fine to stay Squirtle. I'll try and stop talking as much about like I think you should be Squirtle, because I think I made it clear. Squirtle wouldn't have gotten down smashed like that. Oh, I like it actually. Sho had the same idea I did, just outspace it in Razor Leaf, but unfortunately it just like clanked to the hitbox, so that's unlucky. But he didn't lose anything in particular by going for it, so I think my logic pans out. It actually makes sense. Is that gonna? Oh, he's not able to get the up B. I wonder if that's like a tight window on Zero Suit. He has catches the air dodge. It's so hard. It looks so hard for Ivy to find like an advantage here. I think Squirtle would be able to. No, I'll shut up. Never mind. I mean, I think Sho really wants to kill here so that he can get back into the game. These directional air dodges. You can mix in jump away more, for sure. Even jump air dodge to a platform. When you're on a tri-plat, you have all these options to places to land. Oh, it's the big, fat, useless lizard. That's really dangerous, trying to land on top of Zero Suit like that on tri-plats. That was a good catch on the down B though. Cover high. Hang on, actually, I think Sho should have actually been able to punt. Let's see what happened. Full hop. Actually, I would have got faked out by Reyes here, because I would have my idea default. Cover high. I would have landed in the platform. He would have air dodged in here, but Sho waits around. It shields here, which makes me think you're scared of down B, right? But if you're scared of down B, try and swat out the down B up here. If you're not scared of down B, if you have made the call, he's not going to down B here, then do something else, because you're not covering anything here. You just land. I don't know what you want to happen, but like you could, I don't know, flamethrower or just short hop in there to cover this space instead. Remember, if you're in the air and he does down B over you, you're not going to get killed because you won't get buried. So I would like to see something here, cover something. I'm going to look at the chat because I've just been talking to myself for a while. Okay, I'll keep going. Well, yeah, he deserved to lose for that. Because that's just like basically disrespectful or impatient. Yeah. So to round out my thoughts, I think you should take a whole new approach to this matchup, and you should try just squirtling Zero Suit Samus to death, and be really obnoxious and just like just rack up damage and damage and damage and damage. And even if you kill her really late, you're not getting killed because you're not getting hit, because Zero Suit has a really hard time hitting Squirtle because the way Zero Suit's designed, where like big characters are so much easier for Zero Suit to not only combo but to hit in neutral because of tools like Neutral Air, which is difficult to space against low profiled characters. And don't the two big things, don't be Charizard at kill percent, be Squirtle, and you'll live longer, and therefore because of living longer you'll yes, it'll be harder to kill, but you'll find it eventually because you'll die a lot less, especially if you have a lead and you're at high percent. I feel like you're not going to accomplish anything on Charizard. Squirtle would be so much better if Zero Suit's on like her next stock and at low percent. It's still going to be hard, and you can rack up damage easier. I think Squirtle's the way to go. And then the landings were a bit shaky, and honestly, if we look back at the ratio of like flare blitzes that worked to flare blitzes that didn't, I think you got 2 or maybe even 3 at the start, and then towards the end it was like 2 or maybe 3 failed ones. So it just shows over the course of the set that players will just catch on and adapt. So, like, the Hail Mary flare blitzes, I think you just cut them out of your game plan really, or you limit them in some way. You say, you know, you give yourself a rule like, I'll try it once. If it doesn't work once, you know, try something else. I think that you're not considering flare blitz the same way. You're not looking at it the same way I am, where I look at it as this huge gamble, where you don't just gamble, right? Good gamblers choose to gamble when the odds are in their favor, I guess. Like, taking risks makes more sense when you're behind. That's just the way I look at it. Taking risks when you're ahead doesn't make sense. Flare blitz is just too high risk, high reward to throw out so much against a thinking opponent that's going to adapt it. That's what I think. I guess that closes out my thoughts on the set. I hope that Fraser, aka Show, learned something. At least we learned one thing, I guess. Then I did an okay job. I'm going to move on to the next set because I am curious to watch the rest. Because Show's in the chat, and he specifically said he was interested in hearing me talk about the set. I went into quite a lot of detail, so I'll try and go into less detail about the other sets that I watched, to be honest, because I spent like an hour on that, which I didn't actually look into. But I've got some stuff written down. Thanks for the analysis. No problem. I'm going to move on to the next set now. Hang on, I'm going to take a drink and then I'll start this next set. In fact, what I'm actually going to do, I think, because we just watched Pokemon Trainer Zero Suit, yeah, I was just thinking this. I'm actually going to go to Game 2 to see the Pikachu. I'm just going to watch that first set and see this moment, this, you know, so-called moment that Shilt talked about, where Riaz's heartstrings break. Because he gets Game 1. Wait, what? I thought... Oh, so Andrew goes up 1-0, so I guess it's Game 3, right? Yeah. Riaz takes a game, although it looks close. Although, actually, I don't know if you've watched this set where Andrew plays Pokemon Trainer Fraser, but it might be worth watching just because to see the stylistic difference and see if Andrew does things differently or better. I feel like Andrew might... It's just like conjecture, but I think he might play the Zero Suit matchup a bit better with Pokemon Trainer. I don't know. But it would probably be informative to watch anyway. Wait, what happens? Where's the... I'm confused. Also, he took that last game as well, right? So it's Game 4 where he goes Pikachu, I guess. Whoops. Okay, so let's see. Smashville. Whatever. I'm not actually that interested at this stage. I think that should have been an up tilt by Ander. I think Ander's more aggressive than Show, and when you're playing characters like Pikachu and Squirtle, aggression is the way to go against like Zero Suit. I think that this is just, I mean, that was kind of crazy. Maybe I'm like comparing Pikachu and Squirtle like too much, like they're like different enough, but the idea is like small character runs a fast kick lady and she can't respond because they're too small, it's hard to hit them. Pretty simple. In Ultimate, up throw to Raw Thunder is just not a thing anymore, which means if you DI in, Pikachu always has access to down throw mix up, because then you'll go straight up and Thunder will work, which means you should always DI in front of Pikachu and air dodge, because directional air dodge that is, because he can still trap the the neutral air dodge with a well-placed thunder, although you could neutral air dodge and drift and it'd be hard to catch. But the point is, guy in front of Pikachu, because up throw raw thunder's not a thing anymore. You can always air dodge it, you don't have to worry about that. I think that should have been down smash instead of up smash, but whatever, don't know. I can't really see Riaz's face, so I can't really see like the emotions, I guess. But me and him have talked before about Pikachu and why Pikachu's annoying, so I can definitely relate to like relate to this. Like, I want to see more of that F tilt, and I want to see it angled downwards. Angled down F tilt is really good versus characters like Pikachu. That went over his head. He would have like got pushed back a bit further, I guess. Not that it matters much, but like just angle down because it's more consistent. And when Pikachu doesn't shield, it'll be more likely to hit Pikachu. Like it's going to get high profile. It's going to get low profile. Sorry, so much. I'd like to see Riaz use angled down F tilts in matchups like Pikachu and Squirtle, and play a bit more grounded. I think it's actually a really good strategy versus these small characters. Angle down F tilt, down tilt. That's what I think. Even as a response to that, I think Riaz needs to build into his muscle memory to like flick diagonally downwards on the C stick if he uses tilt stick, and if not to like hold slightly diagonal down and angle these. Angling your F tilts down against Pikachu will just be more consistent. Good punish. I mean, this is Anders' strength as a player. He's really smothering to play against. He's good at rushdown. He's good at being aggressive and pressuring, and that's how this matchup. That's how you're going to win this matchup. So he stuffed out the down B. That was close. If that was a smash 4 neutral air dodge, it would have worked. Nice. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that caught, but nice adaptation. Didn't neutral get up. Can't true punish that. I like that he tried to stuff out the jump, but or the that killed. I really like that Riaz like punishes these greedy landings with down smash so well. That was a really good conversion. Angle the F tilts down. Doesn't matter that I hit there, it's just more consistent against Pikachu. Just something that Riaz needs to get into his muscle memory. It'll just improve overall consistency in this matchup, I think. Nice patience. Even just walk up, angle down F tilt, dash in, angle down F tilt. You see that? Ander knows the secret. In fact, I'll go back a little bit so it's more, I guess, apparent what's happening. Oh, whoops. What does he get hit by? Back air? Well, perfect. perfect. I can't praise it under too much. It's quite good, this space coverage. Like, this is exactly what I talked about. Lingering hitbox right there in the Zero Suit's path. If Zero Suit doesn't choose to down B, Zero Suit has to go low, which is beneficial for you. If she does, you're stopping the down B, which is great for you because down B is just really annoying to deal with. So you just want to be deterring that. If you ever want to go for some kind of wedge guard, a lot of the time it has to be off the precedent that Zero Suit is going to not down B because you've deterred it, and then you can go mix up going low, and then you can hit Zero Suit, and then you can actually wedge guard Zero Suit sometimes. It's not impossible. I really like it. Oops. Right, well I've got a game 10, a 10 game grand finals to watch, so I'll just get straight into that, to be honest. Wait, this isn't the top 8. Is this grand finals? How long is this? No, I think this is winners finals. Okay, this has got to be grand finals. Okay, I'll try and get through this pretty quick. Oops, don't want to be full screen. Actually I'm going to go back to the start. Right, so Cloud versus Pokemon Trainer. This is basically the Swaggins Shills Squirtle stream, to be honest. But again, I think you just play Squirtle. I think the Cloud has a really hard time dealing with Squirtle. I think that you can justify switching to Ivysaur to ledge guard Cloud because he's good at it, and Cloud's disadvantage isn't as good as Zero Suit, so you're going to have time and you can afford to leave gaps in your pressure. But I honestly, I think you Squirtle again. Why not? This is going to be, if Ander doesn't mess up, this will be like 50 damage, I think. 58. I think Ander's conversions are honestly a lot better than Sho's. I think Sho. Well, actually, that's unfair because Sho was fighting against Zero Suit, and Zero Suit has much better escape options. But I do still think the point still stands. I think Ander's conversions are better than Sho's. So Sho should watch something like this, and if he doesn't know that combo versus Cloud, then he should copy that. Okay, DG goes low. Ander wanted to catch some sort of high up B, I guess. That was greedy by Ander. It wasn't greedy actually. The double jump was like a little impatient. Hey, swapped off Charizard. Best play I've seen. I don't actually hate Charizard. I don't think he's like terrible. You could actually, I could see reason to actually use him against Cloud, just not Zero Suit. That was Queen. That was just a Queen. Yeah, Queen ledge strat. I hated every single second of that, so I'm not going to talk about it. Yeah, Ander's being too. He actually is being. Yeah, he actually is being too impatient. You see, it's not. I'm not crazy, right? It's not just me. Like, so many just from this set analysis alone, like this stream, people die because they're greedy and impatient and they want to go back on stage. Ander got hit for it like 3 times, and if he hadn't done it and he'd went to ledge, he would just be in a better spot overall. Nice parries. Parrying Razor Leaf is really strong. If you can parry Razor Leaf at mid range, you can punish with like dash attack. Like just true punish. It's just good. You need to do it. Good damage by DG. Is this going to be like another 0 to 50? Oh, I kind of messed it up. I don't think you actually go for the second downer there. I think DG was too high a percent. I think you do like the down throw, like what, short hop up air, double jump fair or something. I think that would be good. catches the roll in. Oh, what the hell? Oh, just a flood by DG. Wait, Under didn't taunt there, did he? I hope he didn't. Oh, that was almost like... Oh my god. Is he dead? Oh, he was nearly dead. I like that Under knows his win condition. It's just aware, like, just throw Cloud off stage once. If he hits him again... Yeah, DG really wants that center stage back. He doesn't want to be put in that position. Almost. Nice. Landing like that there is different because... Or is it? I mean, he was already on the ledge. You can't go back to the ledge. I mean, you could, but... I don't know, that one felt different to me. That was just like... Ander had to do something. He was in a pretty rough spot overall. Like, he just had limited options there. That's what I think. Well played by DG. So Cloud's gonna want to space back airs versus Squirtle, right? Or is that too sort of... Does that take too long? It's too telegraphed? So Ander's just holding forward and Squirtle's just like got such good frame data. He's so fast. He just presses forward. I think that's how you play Squirtle. I think Ander's actually really good at Squirtle. Oh, that was... Oh my god, that was so good. Oh, don't taunt, you Ted. No, I'm kidding, he can taunt if he wants, whatever. I'm going to break down that ledge card. DG was trying to catch an air dodge in there. I'm pretty sure. Back throw. Instantly changed to Ivy. If DG had air dodged in instantly here, then he would have been able to get to ledge before Ivysaur was like able to come out and down air. And if he air dodged in and Squirtle reads it and hits him, he's not like instantly dead either. So that's an option to consider here that's like not bad, rather than like drifting back like that. If you just instantly air dodge in, like what's Squirtle gonna do? Because he doesn't have like a hard spike. It could at best F smash, I guess, and then you're probably dead anyway. But it's definitely something that you have to mix in. He tries to air dodge high. He didn't have a jump, so I don't even think Ander needed the Vine Whip necessarily. I'm not actually convinced it covered anything. The full up near though is so good, like to just cover that space where he can double jump to. Yeah, he doesn't have a jump, so DG is going to air dodge towards the ledge at some point. It's just going to happen. He has to. He doesn't have a jump, and he's above Ivy. So he Vine Whips to cover him up being early, I guess, and then he's still able to cover the drift to ledge. Although, yeah, because DG used his air dodge. So it was more or less just perfect coverage, to be honest. It was really good. But as soon as he caught that double jump like that, that's what won him. That's what got him the ledge guard. When he caught that double jump with an air, Cloud was dead. Oh, the Blade Beam. But yeah, because Squirtle's landing lag's so low, he's not really scared of being put in these tech situations, because he can land with an aerial and shield so quickly because he has such little landing lag. So you can't really rely on these kind of tech chases. And because he's light as well, he gets sent further up, which means that he doesn't get put into a true tech chase because he isn't just in tumble until he hits the ground, basically. That was... God, it's really annoying when Ander does like really good things. Yeah, Ander's just like completely outplaying. Not outplaying, but playing like better than DG, I guess. Like, I don't know. If he played like this every game, he would just demolish. DG's not respecting the vine whip from the ledge. Tried to catch the jump. That was like such. Okay, you might say. I'm gonna tell you what I think about this. You might say, what the hell? Like, he just stood right in front of him and vine whipped. What an idiot, you know. He's shielding. Ander's at 163. He doesn't care. What this screams to me is like confidence, really. To be honest, that's what this makes me think of. I don't care what you're doing down here. I think there's a high possibility you're going to jump. I'm going to cover the jump. I think that this is like doing vine up like this really close. It screams confidence to me. You could argue it's like also like stupid and he dies, but I don't know. I really liked it even though it didn't work. I think this game is over. Cloud's at a percent where Ander needs to hit him off stage once, and then... Okay, he was able to mix out his recovery there. I don't like the water gun. Maybe I do. I don't think I do though. I think you should just go off stage and throw it. Like, do what you did with the Ivy Nair. It worked out so well, right? Put a hitbox above Cloud, so if he jumps, he's instantly dead. Oh, DG doesn't. Yeah. Oh, he didn't have a. DG didn't have a double jump there. I think this was a strange decision by Ander. Yep, double jump. He didn't touch the ground. He's up here. How do you cover this like perfectly? I think you just fall in front of. Hang on, I'll get the. I think you just fall in front of this space here, because DG, when he's hit like this, he can only drift in like this, right, towards the ledge, and to mix up at any point along this line, you can air dodge like that in the way, right, sort of like these, like, you know, I don't know if that makes sense, but you know, you could like do that, whatever. Like, these are all the sort of directions you can take to move towards the ledge. So what you do is Ivysaur, you start here with the neutral air, and you go down this space here with a lingering hitbox, and you either catch the drift or eventually DG air dodges in. I think that's how I would look to cover this. Either that or you just run at Ivy out. Hang on, I'll just undo all this. Well, actually, Squirtle, so substitute Ivy there with Squirtle there, Squirtle falling there. Does he have time? He doesn't actually have time to swap to Ivy here. Hang on, I'm going to think about this more. Water gun, maybe? Maybe water gun is actually better here. Would water... Yeah. I'm actually sold on water gun here now because he doesn't have a double jump and he has to... It's just a sort of inevitability that he has to drift in and he's probably going to air dodge at some point. So if you charge water gun and just aim it here, then you catch the air dodge, then he's pushed out, then he doesn't have an air dodge, then you just hit him and then he's dead. So even if it's a partially charged water gun, I actually think water gun's the best option there. But I could be wrong. Because I guess he just didn't have time to switch to Ivy. I think he could have actually downed it. Oh. Swap, Charizard, forward air, dead. I'm going to try actually get this moving because I've spent an hour and a half already. I don't want to spend too long on this. I might even only do one set, to be honest. It's 1-1. I'm not really going to talk about... I don't actually like talking about stages that much because these aren't characters I play. I don't know what the best stages are for them. And I just find talking about stages kind of boring anyway. I'd rather just see how they're playing. Nice tech. Because the backer is a multi-hit, the launcher hits a consistent timing. So as long as you just know it, you'll be able to take that. I don't mind the finishing touch, actually. I don't mind it. It makes sense to me. Oh, that was... Yo. Let's look at that again. DG's pretty good at this game. Ivysaur's grab is terrible. It's really slow. Did I miss it? No, it's here, right? Yeah. The back air's here. It's so bad that Cloud can actually back air and dash back, and then this has a bunch of lag. So he just... Oh, that was so clean. That was just so clean. The game knowledge as well, just knowing I can back air Ivy shield. If Ivy grabs, I dash back. Like, I can actually beat it by dashing back because it's so slow. So good. And then the catching DG's jump was alright as well. This is something that people need to do against Ivy, especially when Ivy's cornered. Batter Ivy's shield, because Ivy's grab is frame 16, I think, 14, 16. It's 14, 15, or 16. It's really bad. Anyway, that's what you need to know. So you don't even moves that wouldn't normally be safe. For example, as Captain Falcon, I can land into Ivy's shield with a knee. I can just sweet spot forward air Ivy's shield, and then I can jab afterwards to make myself safe. I can't do that against other characters because their grabs are like quicker, but because Ivy's grab is bad, you can exploit it in ways like that. So moves that wouldn't normally be safe, you can actually use to pressure Ivy. For example, Falcon's Knee, which does a ton of shield damage. You can use that as actual shield pressure because Ivy can't answer it. It's a big weakness that Ivy has that people don't exploit, and I think DG's doing a pretty good job of exploiting it so far. Because that was a high forward air, like it hit his shield up high, it was unsafe. I'm pretty sure. I like using the limit to, you know, to just like get space. Fair to cross slash. Clean. Clean. Oh, he went for it. Yeah. That... Could Cloud actually have covered that? I mean, the thing as well is Ander didn't have to flare blitz there either. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he didn't have to flare. Wait, he used one. No, he used both his double jumps. I'm pretty sure. I want to go back and just try and check. Yeah, double jump gone there. Up air, near. Double jump gone here. Yep. Ander doesn't have a double jump. He has to... he might be able to air dodge in this situation. And then up B. I don't know. But I feel like the flare blitz is super likely. And I think Cloud could actually cover this. Because he doesn't have any options left, right? And if you go to cover this flare blitz and he air dodges in, I guess you miss a good ledge guard opportunity. But I think Cloud could actually cover this. I think that Cloud could... Yeah, especially because there's a wall, right? So you either, as Cloud, wait for this, and then you drop down, double jump up, and down air, around here, to catch, because this is just all lag for Charizard. You do that, then you drift in, you wall jump, you up B, you make it back. Or you short hop off stage and like fall a bit, and you just forward air the lizard like right there, and then you wall jump up B. Cloud definitely could have covered this actually, especially because it's a wall stage. That's why I'm so confident. So DG actually could have just got a kill there. That was just a kill. He had no jumps. He either had to air dodge in and up B, I think, But as soon as you don't see the air dodge, you know that he just has to flare blitz. That's the only way he can make it back, and then you can just cover it, and then Charizard can just die. Even though you're Cloud, it doesn't matter that like Cloud's ledge guard's not that good. Cloud can cover it. And it would have been a dead Charizard. Nice. That F tilt might actually cover like everything because Charizard's so big. Oh, the retreating jump back was actually like, I really liked that. That's something I should do more. It was a botched ledge guard. I'm kind of tired, so I'm really struggling to continue to concentrate, but nice, yeah, nice. Really nice actually. Staldy's descent with the switch, and then just put the Squirtle there in front of where Cloud had to go to with the double jump. So then Cloud was just dead because he was that far out. Really good. Tried to tech chase with Nair. Up smash would have been a little safer, I guess. Maybe more consistent. I don't know. Doesn't matter, I guess. Nair made sense. It was like miss space. Catches a jump. Shield. Squirtle's so good. Squirtle's actually so good. To 14, that's really bad. Oh, the Ivy grab. Frame 13 to 14. So it's actually frame 13 is a little faster than I thought, but that's still obviously really slow. It's really bad. You can exploit it really well. This juggling's really good. He's able to sort of, he kind of overextends a little. But it's just the thing I talked about earlier. On like triplats, and on particular this stage, cover these spaces because they don't want to be on the platforms. And the other thing about this stage is when you're juggling people on Yoshi's story, if they choose to, okay, so on Battlefield, this stage extends out like this kind of thing. So if you decide while you're being juggled you're going to drift out, you have the option to drift like this and land in this space here. But because Yoshi's story, the platform extends out over the stage like that. If on this stage, if you choose to drift out and land, you either land on this platform, which is pretty bad, or you drift out and go past the platform, and then you have to go to the ledge, which is also bad. You actually can't get into a grounded position if you drift out on this stage, which means when you're juggling on this stage, all you have to do is contest like the space here and here, and you force your opponent into a bad spot, because either he drifts like onto the platforms, or he drifts out and then he has to go to ledge. There is no landing unless he comes here. So it comes back to the thing I talked about earlier. Contest this space, especially as Cloud, who has good juggling. Just stop them coming through here, and then they'll always be put into a bad spot, and you'll always maintain like stage control and be able to extend your advantage. That's how you should think about juggling on this stage. Advantage. Good characters with good juggling are really good on this stage because this formula is like so good. It's just you just can't land versus this. Then you go here, Cloud just up airs your shield here. You get pressured more. You jump back maybe. Well, what do you do now? Cloud covers here. Land on another platform. You go. They land here instead because Cloud's covering here again. Cloud goes up there. Up airs under here. Rinse and repeat. They can't get through here. They can't get through. As long as they can't get through here or here, they're always in a bad spot. You can just make people go to the ledge, like they have to. Past the percent, I believe. Yeah, Ander was just covering high. He was just like, don't jump here, don't jump here. And then the second time, DG was like, I want to jump here, and then he gets hit and he dies. So DG never actually wants to drift low and up B because it's illogical. Because Ivysaur, you think, oh, but he'll just down air it for free. But when Anders specifically jumping out and covering, the the high, the double jump from DG. That's the option that he is moving out to cover. So because of that, DG should actually go low and up B more, because Ander will be busy covering the double jump, and he won't be able to cover it, even though you would think it would be free every time, because he's committing to covering the double jump. Excuse me. I'm going to upload these to my YouTube channel, because DG said he wanted to watch and see what I had to say, so. I'll try and... I'm only going to do this first set. I might do the rest later, I don't know, but I'm actually getting really tired. I forgot how tiring analysis can be. I hate Squirtle. Nice coverage. Squirtle's ledge roll is really bad, and his ledge get up attack is really good. Line whip. Both players are covering like double jump. You see how both players like contest the space above the other character, because just if they do jump, they're like screwed essentially when they're in that position, and there's no double jump. That water gun was just like so good. It just like because it just got limit. It just was like yoink. I'll take that limit from you. Now if I hit you off stage again, you're gonna die. I'm actually going to go back because there's something... Oh, what the hell? There's something I have been talking to DG about, and this is like a good example, I think. I might have went back a bit too far. Yeah, wait, no, hang on. He back here's Ivy shield in the corner. When does that happen? I think I've not went back far enough. Hang on. We Squirtle here. What happens? Dash attack. Ivy jumps on stage. Right. The back air into dash back. This is fine, right? But then here, it's like I've been talking to DG. I think DG's weakness as a player is that he is he's not willing to gamble. He wants everything to be like consistent and safe, and he doesn't extend his advantage when he necessarily could. Why not, instead of full hopping again, when he's in this position after he gets back-aired, dash back, why not just run in and dash attack or grab him? Or dash in. What you could do here as well is you could do like, you could dash dance. You could dash in, dash out, hoping that he like whiffs an aerial, dash back in and dash attack or grab him. Why not hit the go button here, DG, and just go forward? This is a perfect example of the thing I talk about, because you spend too much time like this far away, like you created too much distance. It's not threatening, and you're spending time here. You want to full hop again, back here again. It's too safe. It's too consistent. Ander just waits. He's seen this before. This is when you should mix up and hit the go button, I think. Or this is at least a good example of when it would have worked, I think. And this is what I was talking to DG about, where I think that like the safe, consistent back air thing works to an extent until you play someone like Ander, who's good at the game. Not only that, but Ander has played Clouds himself a lot. He understands this this strategy. He knows the ins and outs. So he full hops in place here, and he just waits out. He's like, he's not really that scared. He's just waiting here. He doesn't think the DG's actually going to like run into the corner. And because of that, he's afforded all of this space, and he's able to drift in, roll behind, and then DG loses stage control anyway. So DG's trying to like play perfect and keep stage control perfectly and never take the risk, but it just ends up going full circle on him because Ander understands what's happening, I guess. I don't think I explained that as well as I could have, but I hope that I've gotten my point across. Just with regards to kind of how DG plays the game. Contest with forward air. You had the right idea there. Spaced. That should have been a dead Charizard, right? Right? Hang on. Forward air, F tilt. Charizard can't actually drift to the ledge, and even if he could, I'm pretty sure DG could like... Down smash is consistent here, yeah, because you don't have to worry about him sort of mixing you up with drift. But I think you just walk. Like, Fly or Charizard's up B has a ton of landing lag, right? So as he falls, this should have been a forward smash, I'm pretty sure. You just need to walk, honestly. Just walk forward and just see where he goes, and then just forward smash on reaction, I think. Although maybe DG thought the down smash would kill. And honestly, I thought maybe it would kill, but it didn't. So therefore, the forward smash was the correct choice, because it would have consistently worked anyway. In that specific situation. Which is kind of just nitpicking, but doesn't matter, that's what he should have done. Up airs. That was a really good juggle, actually. It's unfortunate he traded, but I actually want to talk about something he did which I liked. Up air, short hop up air, short hop up, or jump up air. This time he doesn't, he waits. He's like, there's no way in this situation Ander just drifts in again. He's going to do something, which means he's going to use some sort of like resource in a sense, whether it's air dodge or his down B. So then waiting here makes so much sense, and DG waits it out. And tries to up air again, and he misspaces that one in particular, and then trades there, which is unfortunate. I really like the wait there. The wait there just makes a lot of sense to me. Not dead. Okay. Actually, there's no point in going for this up throw instantly, because you always have time to react to Charizard's up throw and DI. So therefore, Ander should just he should just pummel. There's no reason not to pummel. At least 2 or 3 times, because if they mash it like the absolute fastest possible, then they might be able to break out after like 4 pummels. But there's no reason not to do it like at least 2 or 3 times. I think like he's going to be able to react every time in DI properly, so there's no reason not to pummel. That's just something that Ander should do with Charizard up throw when he wants to kill. Because with other throws, when they're quick, you can surprise them and throw their DI off because it's like so fast, but it's just so telegraphed. And then he got his double jump, caught out again. Should have went to ledge. Because DG's been catching his double jumps like all set. Alright, this is the last game I'm going to do. If this is game 5, which I think it is. I've not been counting too well. Back here to side B. Nice up B, like sort of reacting to the drift. Okay, never mind. Dash attack up to upper. Anders' conversions on Squirtle are so good. Oh, that's really unfortunate the DG fell out with the neutral air. Because I like the idea from Ander. And I think that's a good way to ledge guard Cloud. Yeah, I think he's getting hit by too many Vine Whips from the ledge. He needs to either respect it or like hard call it out and hard punish by like jumping over it and down airing it. Or just shielding and like then down tilting ledge or something and like having pressure because of the regrab. But I think DG's just getting hit by too many. That's such good damage. Cloud's damage output is actually kind of nutty, to be honest. Oh, really good usage of Blade Beam. Alright, whatever. Really good coverage by Ander, actually. That's what I think about that. Messes up that combo. That should have been like 50 damage, and then DG would have, well, there's the 50 damage. Squirtle's nuts, by the way. So how does DG lose? Dash attack gets punished by Nair out of shield. That jump on stage was like greedy. He could just go to ledge and save limit because Ander wasn't even contesting. So hang on, how does he get hit by this Razor Leaf? Oh, I mean that was, I guess, misspaced. There's just like one misspaced backer and then he's dead because Ivysaur is an alright character. Okay. Unfortunately, I went through like a set before this in a lot of detail, so I don't have the most in-depth insight, I guess, analysis. To me, the big flaw with DG's gameplay, all this is very clean. Dash attack, I don't even mind the dash attack, but I think DG's ledge trapping doesn't make sense in this game. I think it makes sense in Smash 4. I think he gives up too much space when he's ledge trapping, for a start. When people are, I'll just get a zoom out shot. When someone's on the ledge, in this game, I think because of the threat of get up attack, people like to stand outside of get up attack range in this game. So especially like, I see this with DG. I think other players do this too. They stand too far back. They don't actually need to stand this far back because while standing further forward risks you getting hit by get up attack, it also allows you to threaten covering other options. When people stand that far back against me, even further back sometimes, some people give you like way too much space. That just tells me that I can neutral get up in place and I can shield. And there's only a 1 frame window to punish, so if they were really on point and I was way too predictable and I was doing it way too much, in theory, yeah, they could run forward and like forward smash this or something. But when you, being here, shielding, hang on, let me just undo these. Being here in shield is better than being on the ledge, because being here is one step closer to being here. This is why wedge trapping works, because center stage is really important, and it's why people, you know, like, I don't know if I'm explaining it well. If they give you the space to just neutral get up and shield, then you just take one small step towards center stage. Then you're on stage. You have your feet on the ground. You go from there. If they're standing further forward, closer to like here, actually maybe a bit further forward, here, that's not an option that really crosses my mind. It doesn't have to always be neutral get with shield either. You can jump when people stand that far back, and then suddenly you're, you know, in this space for free, and maybe they'll jump at you, but now you have mix-ups to like maybe air dodge to here and stuff. So it just gives people room. It just gives people breathing room. So I think it's worth taking the risk of getting hit by get-up attacks, because you can bait that out as well. You can just shield standing here, and then it's character specific, but you can do an option out of shield, like you know, up smash out of shield, up B out of shield, drop shield, F tilt, whatever's your hardest punish. You can bait it out like that. And standing here lets you, like, you can use either grounded moves like tilts with like lingering hitboxes, or like jump with aerials to swat out jumps. You can shield, and then you can neutral get. The idea isn't to just cover everything. The idea is to like cover 2 out of 4 things, kind of, if that makes sense. And to look to condition, and then the secondary objective is to condition them by covering these options. You swat out a lot of jumps here. They don't want to jump anymore. You're standing here. They don't want to get up attack because you've punished that as well. Then, you know, they roll behind, and then you punish them with like dash back F smash or something. Like, you condition all this with a secondary objective in mind, to condition them to do something that they haven't done yet, that you haven't been covering, and then you punish. And this is kind of how I look at wedge trapping, and it all works because you're pressuring by being further forward. You don't even have to stay here all the time. You can dash back and out and dash back in case they get up attack. But I just think it's a lot more pressuring to stand around there than to stand around here. And I think that's a big issue with DG's gameplay that he should fix. So I hope he watches this. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe standing here is fine. I think that you should be standing further forward and looking to not simply try and cover everything with like absolute consistency kind of thing. Instead, it should just be looking to cover multiple options, and if they get back to stage, whatever, next time you wedge trap them, try again. And over time, you will get some wedge traps and you will miss some wedge traps, but it will be more consistent because there's not a strategy that the opponent can use where they take their time and you're not threatening them and they get back to stage eventually, because you're not threatening enough. That's what I think is the main issue with DG's gameplay that he should work on. I think Ander recognises it, whether he sort of is cognizant or not. He is taking his time in the corner and making his way back pretty consistently, because he understands that he doesn't actually need to be scared, even though DG appears to be very scary. That's all I have to say about this set. I haven't watched set 2. It's not all I have to say, but it's the main point, because DG said specifically he was interested. That's the main point I have for DG. So I'm going to finish up the analysis there. If you listened through all of that, then thanks for coming out, hearing what I had to say, and like, well done, honestly, because I would have been bored, I think. And I'll cut this up and record it for DG later on. But thanks for coming out, guys, and catch you some other time.